So again, we're concerned about the construction impacts of the deck. Structurally now it's fine, but once you start getting your excavators and hammers on it, we're concerned about the durability of the deck. So what we're looking to do is to, basically, our philosophy is get in, get out. Come in, close the bridge, and fix it as quick as we can and get out. So again, the first two alternatives, we were looking at probably 6 weeks to build this bridge, then probably 3 to 4 months to build a new bridge. The second alternative we're looking at is probably 5 to 6 months of construction on that bridge. The idea here is to, if we could detour traffic away, we could then attack this bridge, do it in a fast manner. Again, 3 to 4 months of a closure. And what we would propose to do, again, this may be tough to see, but I'll try to. What we have is Wayland over here and North Cohocton over here. Route 21 from Wayland to North Cohocton is about 6.5 miles long on Route 21. We want to officially sign all vehicles on state roads because we don't want to direct vehicles onto the town roads or the county roads. So again, we would sign traffic out of Wayland down 415 along through North Cohocton and then back up 371. That would be our official signed detour. For through traffic from here to here, that's about 13 miles. So again, we'd be going from 6.5 miles direct to 13 miles on that signed detour. We're also realists of the world that, the locals probably won't go that way, and there are other routes around. So again, I'm full disclosure. We can tell you to go here, but I'm guessing a lot of locals will not. And what we anticipate is the locals will probably, depending on where they're going, use sawdust over to West Main and Atlanta, East Wayland Road, and then either come into Atlanta this way or head up Parks to get back out to Route 21. And those two alternatives through traffic here is about a mile longer on these streets. It's not 1 minute longer, that's for sure, because these roads are a little more windy. So you're probably looking at 3 to 4 minutes longer taking this local road versus directly on Route 21. One of the areas of concern, again, whenever we close a road, is emergency services, schools, and the local business impacts. And in this area here, the farmers is probably the biggest impact on the local business side. So again, this is the first step of what we're doing is coming to talk to the town about what we're proposing. So when you hear from your constituents that the DOT is coming out, our desire is not for you to be blindsided. So again, we want to be full disclosure. This is what we're going to try to move forward with. We're going to work with the schools, work with the emergency services about this this plan. The farmers is another, we want to make sure that we're addressing them. In other villages and projects like this, we coordinate our construction schedule around their planting seasons. So again, if they're, again, I'm not a farmer, so I'm going to say these crops all wrong. If you're a spring planting crop and you want us not work in the spring, we can work around that. If you
want you to do it in the snow.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's the only time. You have 3 big farms right there that use that road daily. Farmers.
Big
Multiple
pieces of equipment.
Big pieces of equipment. So for them to go down and around Parks Road, Beecher Street, up Bulls Corners and out to Eel Pot, you got 2 bridges on both of those crossroads and a dirt road that they would have to use. And those 2 crossroads are not.
The only way
They
you can
can't
make
for
them
weight.
happy is to expand that bridge so when you're building it, they can get their equipment down through it without knocking cars over.
Yeah.
I think it's even tight for
It's
you follow
tight.
a semi-truck
tight.
trailer. Even
Coming
that's
down
tight.
there.
Down through there.
So let me talk first about during construction, and then we'll come back. Well, let me start back with today. You're saying the bridge is too narrow for the equipment?
Yes.
Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And I do have a concern too with the grade, bringing it back up, because some pieces of equipment are very low to the ground. And with big pieces of equipment, there's not a lot of tilt on them, so you could end up getting damage to the road if they don't adjust too. So
Well, actually,
maybe just the angle for going up the hill, because they're coming down the hill and then they turn, a lot of them turn right off from that
Bulls
corner
Corner.
there, they'll be making that turn and going up
Okay.
as well.
One of the things with building the project half at a time, we started with 32 feet, so when you start cutting the bridge in half, now we're down to 16 feet, then we need a temporary barrier and things, so we're gonna be narrowing the road up to 14 feet, 12 feet, which again, doesn't work well with,
Right.
with farm equipment as well.
No.
So again, these are the things we're trying to balance, and that's kind of why I'm here, is to find out where.
Well, that's
where-
why I'm saying,
okay.
if you're gonna divert trucks and farm equipment down Parks Road, the County Route 36, back up Beecher Street, you have two bridges right there that I don't know if they can handle that capacity.
Okay,
So that's
The weight.
something that, the
Yep, we
weight.
can look at it.
So that's something that you should be aware of. The
Okay.
other option is for them to come to Bulls Corners, go up Bulls Corners, across Snyder Road, over to Eel Pot,
Yeah.
which is a dirt road,
and that's not,
and that's
not a desirable,
No.
not a desirable,
Right.
no. And like I said, you have 3 large farms that use that daily.
It doesn't stop.
It does not stop.
and one of the things that we're looking to come out of this meeting with is who are the important people to talk to. The ones I know of is the one adjacent to it, but again, I don't know the other 2 big farmers. so-
Shoemaker Farms,
Okay.
Gilson Farms, Duesenberry Farms.
Okay,
Well, I would check out,
What's that?
uh,
Wallace.
Corey Mark on,
Yeah,
He's
Corey
he's
Mark
right on the
uses
corner.
it.
He does a lot of stuff with his potatoes out of the, there's a
How far
warehouse
up
right
will
on the
Ricky
corner.
go? Fairbrother.
Oh, no.
Well, and you have,
Ricky,
you also,
he's up at the top.
but you also have a logger right up the
Oh,
road,
yeah.
Terry Foltz. He
Okay.
moves a lot of long log trailers, heavy equipment
Right
as
out
well.
of David's corner.
so that's the, so outreach for construction is, the farming industry. And again, so we'll start with that.
Wilkins. Oh, yeah, Wilkins will use it.
So, but the challenge we always have is, I mean, how to do this in the, I don't wanna say cost effective, that's, as a taxpayer, that's the right word, but try to balance the impacts of what we're trying to do without putting businesses out of business. So again, it's one of these, that if there's a time that after spring planting, but before fall crops, if we can fit that in, again, not knowing what each farmer crops, that's a difficult thing to do, so.
Like I
I
said,
would-
so
Yep.
those farms, dairy farms, they plant, go right into
Harvest.
harvesting,
Summer
hay.
harvest.
and it's daily.
Also in between that, I would talk to, probably one of the fertilizer plants,
Yeah,
so
'cause they use
CPS down in Dansville, they do a lot of stuff spreading fertilizer and spraying for different farms across that area as well.
Yep.
So so they've helped me with the public outreach side. But so from the board's perspective, is there things that we're missing, things that we're not considering? We realize this is farming, other things that we are missing as far as our outreach goes?
Well, when you did 21, I would have liked to widen the roads just for biking. I mean, I think it should be kind of mandatory now that you widen these roads so that there is a nice pathway for bikers on 21 and 371, that type
Well,
of thing.
The Route 21, the bridge we're building it has a 5-foot shoulder, which is what we're building for bicyclists today. So this section here will be built accommodating bicyclists. What we did leading up on it this summer, the paving, was basically match what was there today.
Right.
So again, I'm not sure what width that was, but
It's
and
not
that was
big
more of a
enough.
maintenance project, just keep the road smooth, get traffic moving.
Right, But as you're thinking forward, I think you should take that into consideration to all roads that you're working
Mhm.
on, is to expand them for farmers and for biking recreation in the rural areas.
So, yes, sir.
If you're coming down Bulls Corners 221, you'll still be able to turn right and go to Wayland, that
Yes.
will remain open?
That will remain open, yes. So, and maybe there's some opportunities to accelerate construction, do different practices if we have to close it, whether we use some precast concrete products and really compress our construction schedule. But I guess the initial reaction of winter construction. Okay, what's, define when that would start for me. Help me with this. When would you like me to close the road?
Mid-November. Mid-November.
Mid-November, and have it reopened when?
And
I'm not saying I can do this, I'm just, but again, if you mention it, I'll put it in the hopper of my options.
Mid-March.
Mid-March.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
ready.
challenging,
I
because
know.
we don't like concrete, concrete doesn't like to get hard in the middle of winter. Um,
Right.
But, so mid-November to
What are your
mid-March,
thoughts?
okay?
Junk year, fertilizer.
It's gonna be tough taking that out.
Yeah, it is.
That's
It's
gonna put
gonna
a
hurt.
lot of
It's
people
gonna
on
hurt.
But I can see how you gotta do it.
Oh,
How,
yeah.
what was the cost of putting the diversion on?
About $350,000, so about 25% of the project cost.
And where exactly would that go, the diversion one?
Well, the reality is, we would go towards, because,
I mean, 'cause
O'Neill's have their barn here.
Right.
Right.
We're already impacting their milking shed, or the old milking shed, or whatever that little shed was there. But so they're here, and then the O'Neill farm's over here. And again, just maintaining access through here is a challenge, but really the only way we'd go would be to come out this way. And
That's
I
lots.
think he has access up here to his farm. I don't know, that's what Google Earth shows me. I haven't talked to him. But, I mean, maintaining this access with a detour out here would be difficult, but, because his farm field is probably 25 feet below,
Right,
Right, and it floods.
and it floods, yeah.
but that would be the only place we would go, would be to that direction.
The other side is high, real high.
Well, the other side is the barn. We can't avoid the barn if we go this direction, so if anything, we'd have to go this way out and come across, I'll say, both corners at a skew. So,
A lot of extra money for farmers.
again, but it's also, I mean,
Right that way.
what we have to, it's what we have to balance. I mean, again, I can't put we don't want to put farmers out of business. I mean, they serve a value to the community, they pay a lot of taxes. So again, just because we want to do something fast doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. So,
I think you honestly really need to look at those bridges on Beecher Street and Parks Road to make sure that they can use them, because you are gonna have a lot of traffic across
A lot of
that.
traffic.
There's a lot of equipment
A lot of
all
traffic.
across that Parks Road. So that's what you were drilling for this summer?
yes, we're doing the borings for geotechnical foundations. All right, so the next step we're gonna do is we'll set up a meeting with the local farmers and send them an invitation, and if you see them, encourage them to come, tell us what they're thinking, because if they don't come, we're gonna guess, and that's not always the best answer. So we will reach out to them and set something up.
Will the meeting be here at the town, or will it be at DOT in Hornell?
It'd be local.
Okay.
I would request to use the town's facilities, but again, that's, I can't commit to that because I don't know what the town's commitment is, so. And again, I would invite the town to attend the meeting as well, so again, full disclosure of what we're doing. No surprise, no, we're not trying to hide anything, so.
What's your predicted timing for this meeting?
This would be 10/20/20 right now, so I would say, I would like to say we can do it before December 1st.
Okay.
I mean, is there a time of day that's best for farmers? They work 24 hours a day, I know that, but just, I mean, whatever time I pick will be a problem for someone, just so, I mean,
Yeah.
evenings? Is that-
Evening would be better.
Okay. I'll see what we can arrange with the town for a facility, and if we can't get here, maybe some other place local.
Coffee and donuts usually goes along with it too. I might even show up for that.
A beverage across the street would go far too, but that would not go well on the expense account.
Exactly, you could just go hold the meeting over there.
Might as well make a detour on your way.
It would be a short meeting, but after a few drinks, you don't keep those going. Okay, so
They could.
is there anything else I can do, explain now or to move forward? So- I appreciate your time, I appreciate everyone's time and interest, and we will keep moving forward in community outreach and we go from there. Thank you.
I bet your food mart would be impacted too.
Do you mind?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
For 6 months every day,
It's going to be,
go all the way around.
what's it,
The Sean goes
Just one.
Forget.
Just
Yeah, but-
take the kids to school. The
Just
bus,
because it's
down
Atlanta,
Atlanta, down, all
All
the
on
way
Wolf,
around.
all on Wolf's Silage, oh my freaking God.
Yeah, well, that's
They wanna do it, yeah.
Where's cast iron underwear ready?
Look, it's,
oh, yeah, true.
I spell things like that.
Yep. This probably will help,
Okay.
Matt, who's in there?
Okay, onward we go. Any more good news? We have no good news.
yeah, they've got it.
The building maintenance, as you can see, our lobby ceiling looks wonderful. The wall's not so wonderful, but we'll worry about that after we have this little list of building maintenance that we need to address. Did you send that to
I
everybody?
did,
Cheryl and
I
Pat?
did. Well, I put it in the boxes, so they
Okay.
probably, some got it that were on the committee.
Cheryl and Milt held a little meeting with everybody. And what, Chuck gave us some input on some things things need to be done on the building. My feeling is, I wish he would have told us some of these before we had contractors in here. Because maybe some of it could have been addressed much easier while this was going on. They could have addressed some of the repairs that need to be done. This is really a long list, and since some of you haven't seen it, I thought we needed to discuss some of it because we have to finish our budget up, and some of these things are gonna have to be accounted for in the budget. Chuck did do a measurement of all the floors down below. The plan for those who weren't at the meeting is we have to do some work down below. The floors are horrible, the carpets are from, when, maybe the
They-
sixties or seventies.
They're all rippled or, so it's a trip hazard.
So what the discussion is to pull all the carpet out, and the bathroom absolutely needs to be fixed, and use the floating floor material. It's very reasonably priced. Chuck measured 783 square feet, which is the bathroom, the conference room, the foyer down there, the assessor's office, the stairs, and the little landing at the stairs. Barry had looked at the floating floor at Lowe's, and then I went and took a look, last week, and prices are like $1.83 a square foot for the really cheap stuff, to about $5 a foot for the better end of it. Some of it is waterproof, some of it isn't. We would definitely want the entranceway waterproof and the bathroom. My suggestion, because I'm trying to have some work done to my house right now, and you order something and they'll tell you it'll be in 3 months, and then in 3 months they tell you it'll be in another 2 months, and then in the 2 months they tell you it'll be in another 2 months. So since I don't think colors are a big deal, we'd like to try to go with something that'll be in stock. And we don't have to have the same color for every